Yo guys, what's going on? Robert Warshack here, and we have a new unit to play with. It released at the start of Season 2, which is the Chimaera. So, a lot of hype around this unit. Potentially looked really interesting. Right off the bat, unit's horrible. I'm just going to get into it now. This is not a good unit. If you're questioning whether you should buy the bundle for it or not, I already did for you. I play the unit in a lot of different comps, which we'll talk about why it's bad, and then like the comps I played in which it is bad, and not to kind of waste your money on it at the time. Maybe it'll get changed in the future, but right now this unit is just not good for PvP at all. We played like 4 hours yesterday. We did a Ren comp because Ren decreases the cost of flying units by 1, making it a 4 gold unit. So possibly Chimaera at 4 gold could have been good. The main problem is safe. So because most comps run safe, which is this unit here, this is a 3 gold unit, and if your opponent safes your Chimaera, it takes out like 70-80% of its life. And then if they have the gnomish cloaking device, which is it deploys from the explosion, stealth, and ambush, which means it gets an attack off, it instantly kills Chimaera. So Chimaera goes, you spend 5, your opponent spends 3, they kill the Chimaera, and the unit at 3 gold lives full health. So really bad. Chimaera is really easy to hit. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do that much damage unless you have the talent for it, which makes the corrosive breath do twice as much poison. However, because poison is not instant damage, when it attacks something, let's say like a Griffin Rider, it almost goes 1-to-1 with a Griffin Rider for 2 gold. Like Griffin Rider almost kills this, which is really, if this takes any damage whatsoever, the Griffin Rider will kill it first. And then if you have this talent, the Griffin Rider will die afterwards. But it's just, I don't know. So you have 2 talents here. You have the corrosive breath. Your poison spit inflicts twice as much poison, which is like, I guess, good against towers and stuff like that. But it's still, I would rather just do more damage. Why do I have to wait for the poison damage to do more? Or just have the unit base damage do more? And then the other talent that I thought could be good is Leviathan. Gain an additional 10% health per deploy. Very similar to Hogger. However, what it doesn't say is it max out at 3. So after the 3rd time you play this, after it gets 30% additional health, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't say this, but that's the same thing goes for Hogger. Hogger max deploy on both his passive and the talent is 3 times. After 3 times, you don't get any more benefit from Hogger's passive or his talent, which gives him more health, which again, doesn't say it. Not a fan of this at all. I wish it would just keep growing, because that I thought was the whole point, was just keep playing Hogger until he's like huge. So your opponent has they're kind of on a timer, because Hogger's not overwhelmingly powerful at first. So you're paying for a very slow early game to ramp during the later stages of the game if you can live with more of like a control style of play. That's not the case here. So between Leviathan only doing 30% more health on a unit that doesn't do literally any damage is really bad, especially if it costs 5 gold. And then corrosive breath, which does make its damage a little bit better, but still not enough to warrant playing it. On top of that, there is one talent that I didn't pick up, which would be Frost Shock, which Lightning Ball applies a frost on hit. So it does slow down opponents' towers or slows down the minions attacking it, which may be pretty good. However, if you're not doing, again, any damage to the unit while slowing them, they're still inevitably going to kill your unit, right? Also, the range on this unit is pretty bad. Like, it's not as short as Ren's or Drake, but it's not as far as Huntress's or Griffin Rider at max range. So this unit has to get pretty close up to start attacking, and that's pretty bad because of stuff like area effects like Blizzard. Again, safe. There's a lot of things that if units are clumped up, it does a lot of damage, but if the unit has good range, it can sit in the back and kind of dodge out on some of those AoE spells. This, not the case. It has to be pretty close to start attacking, which again, very bad. So for 5 gold, you just have Huntress right now, and Huntress can attack flying units. It bounces, hits everything. It can go stealth. It has ambush. You can make the initial attack primary target do 50% more damage. It's armored, so it doesn't even take that much damage from a lot of sources. I mean, right now, if you just have Huntress, it's just a better unit. Now, it doesn't have armor, it has resistant, my bad. But still, like, if you're going to play 5 gold, why wouldn't you play Huntress versus Hydra? There's almost no benefit to playing this new card. It doesn't counter anything that's in the meta right now that some other thing doesn't already do better. Some people be, well, it counters Drake eggs. Well, so does Huntress. So does almost any unit that just attacks in like an AoE radius that can hit both ground and flying, which is Huntress. And it does it really well. So unfortunately, until Chimaera gets changed or he costs less gold or they buff his initial damage, Highly recommend do not play this unit at all. I highly recommend don't go out of your way to buy any sort of things for this unit. It's kind of just going to be a waste of gold. I can't speak towards PvE because I haven't played him with PvE yet, but I can only imagine it's going to fall into the same categories we just mentioned before, where Huntress is just the better unit as of now. Yeah, curious to see what you guys have to think of him and what your experiences are. Even on like Reddit and both Twitter, a lot of the really good Rumble players I've been posting, they're like, yo, I tried this guy and it's just not it, which really sinks because he's one of like the new units to come out, right? And I would have thought they would have really made a purpose for him. Like they would have really made him have a spot in this particular meta, because right now with a game like this, let's say you invest into like Huntress to get talents, or you invest into Safe to get the cloaking gnomish device, right? And then let's say they nerf that. That's like a lot of weeks progress that you might like just give up because they nerf it and then it's not good, and you just spent the past 3 weeks farming, getting gold to buy, you know, the new talent for that unit, right? So in this game, instead of constantly balancing things, nerfing things into oblivion or buffing things, they basically will add new units which counter the really good stuff to make it less good. You know what I mean? Or they buff underplayed units. So if you have like a bad unit that you accidentally bought like a wrong talent for, or it's just sees no play, then that unit has some time to shine. But I really don't think that we're going to see a lot of like nerfs to popular units, more so implementing new units that counter the really good units that everybody's playing, like Safe and stuff like that. So we'll see what they do. Maybe it gets a buff, maybe some other units get a buff, but at the moment we haven't seen anything like that throughout the first PvP season, and now getting introed into the second one. We'll see what the future lies, but at the moment, like I said, save your money, save your gold. Do not buy this unit. If you get it through the free, if you get it through like the guild rewards, that's cool. But again, don't buy the bundle with this guy at the moment. It's just really, really bad. With that, I'm Robert Warshack. Thanks for watching. Happy whatever the hell day it is.